Each escalation in Ukraine also puts India in a tough spot. Until now, the choice was political. Russia on one side, America on the other. It was all about picking one over the other. But now the situation has changed. It is not a political question anymore, or not just a political question. It is also a question of ideology. Russia has openly violated Ukraine's sovereignty. They are backing violent separatists. Will India condone such behavior or criticize it? Right now, India is somewhere in the middle. At the United Nations Security Council, Indian Ambassador T.S. Tirumurthy called for restraint and dialogue.
The escalation of tension along the border of Ukraine with the Russian Federation is a matter of deep concern. These developments have the potential to undermine peace and security of the region. We call for restraint on all sides. The immediate priority is de-escalation of tensions, taking into account the legitimate security interests of all countries and aimed towards securing long-term peace and stability in the region and beyond. We are convinced that this issue can only be resolved through diplomatic dialogue.
Everyone was eagerly waiting for Ambassador Tirumurthy's speech. He was the first non-NATO member to speak. Would he side with Russia or with the US? As it turned out, neither. India called for talks and restraint. But how much longer can this policy work? Until now, there was only a threat of war. So talks and restraint was fine. But now the invasion is happening. Russia is sending soldiers into what is technically Ukrainian land. So clearly talks have failed. And Indian policymakers will have a major choice to make. Do you remain neutral? Or do you reevaluate your ties with Russia? I know it sounds impossible. India-Russia relations go back decades. Defense, space exploration, nuclear energy. This is a strategic partnership par excellence. Having said that, India has three responsibilities to remember. A, it is a growing global power. B, it is the world's largest democracy. And C, it has separatists and border disputes of its own. This conflict may be happening in Ukraine, but the principles are universal. Sovereignty and territorial integrity are non-negotiable. India, of all countries, would know that. If you want to lead the world, you will have to take risks, maybe find new partners, let go of some old ones, or defend principles at the cost of your friends. Let me quote what India's Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar said in 2020. These are his words. Either you're in the game or you're not in the game. The era of great caution and greater dependence on multilateralism is behind us. We need to take risks. Without taking risks, you cannot get ahead. And that's what Ukraine is, a risk. If India criticizes Russia, it may lose a strategic partner. So New Delhi have to make a gamble. Either hope the relationship will survive such criticism or bet on gaining new friends. And both scenarios have their own benefits. We keep talking about the India-Russia defense deals. Well, those deals are not a one-way street. If Russia is supplying weapons, India is paying for them. And with all these new sanctions, Putin is going to need that Indian money even more. Secondly, it's not like Russia is not exploring new alliances. You know who's visiting Russia tomorrow? Putin is welcoming Imran Khan to Moscow. Reports say the Russian president may visit Pakistan this year. So both sides are looking at options, to be fair. India with Western democracies and Russia with China and Pakistan. The question is, what does India prioritize? Principles or partnerships? How does it balance national interest with international responsibility? And just to be clear, this does not mean that India should embrace the NATO or blindly follow the United States. It means India will take decisions based on what is right and wrong. And to do that, you need strategic autonomy. You need your own defense equipment, your own fighter jets, a self-sufficient economy. And that's the only way you can achieve strategic autonomy. To be fair, India is moving in that direction. More and more defense manufacturing is happening in India. Indian firms are being encouraged. But this is not going to happen overnight. Import substitution is a long and drawn-out process, but India will have to stick to this path because the alternative is a confused foreign policy. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.